Hello, my knitting friend. It's New Year's Day in Finland, so happy New Year. I hope this 2022 brings us all good and warm woolly things. I'm starting this podcast with a project that is not finished, but I hope to finish it during the podcast. So I've made these slippers that are humongous. Seriously, here's my head and here's the slipper, so they are huge. I could actually probably wear them as hats. They're supposed to be now put into the washer and felted. So one of them I already kind of stuffed with plastic bags, and I didn't find my safety pins, so what I did was I took a bit of the same yarn and just kind of darned the first plastic bag into the opening of the slipper. I don't know if I have too many plastic bags in here. Does it have enough room to kind of still shrink and felt? So maybe I'll just remove another plastic bag from in there before I put them in the washer, and this one still needs to be stuffed with the bags. So I'll do that now, and then I'll put these in the washer with a couple of towels, a couple of tennis balls, and then hopefully at the end of the podcast we will see if they felted and if something needs to be done, but at least we'll see the next step of this project. I'll be right back. Step one, not success. Okay, so as life normally happens around us, is that I was just about to start filming the other parts of the podcast, and I got a phone call from a dear old friend, Teresa, from England, and we haven't met for 8 years. I haven't heard from her for 6 years, and she had been just looking through her New Year things, and her husband had asked her, so what's going on with Lena in Finland? And she dug out my phone number from God knows where, and then she called me. And I was just about to press record, and we talked for, I don't know, hour and a half. But hey, during that hour and a half, these slippers were in the wash. First of all, the plastic bag that I put in with yarn is outside the slipper. Well, the slipper hasn't really felted into itself, or in any other way either. It's as big as it was when it went in there. I don't know. Am I now supposed to put this into a hotter wash? Oh my goodness. They're both like this. The bags are out. There's one bag in each of them in the toe part of it was kind of there. And then the other one has slipped out. So I think I need to be using more yarn to actually get these bags into the slippers for them to stay in the slippers, and then warmer water, maybe. Oh my goodness. Okie dokie. Well, when I get those slippers done, a warmer wash or whatever it takes, I don't know, it might take a few times. I forgot to mention the pattern. It's Cold Winter Warm Feet. And it's a free Ravelry pattern by Berg. And there is a size for women and for men separately, or smaller and bigger feet. Those ones are so big that they're not either yet, but hopefully they felt well, and then they are one of the sizes. What I then wanted to remember to do, happily, was that I had a challenge going for charity knitting, for whatever charity you wanted to donate mittens for. And if you used the hashtag MitsWithLove 2021, here's the winner for the Ravelry pattern prize, Lykyt puikoilla. I think she's Finnish. And I will contact her in Instagram. And if you're faster, Lykyt puikoilla person, if you are faster, you can also contact me. And let's make sure that you get the Ravelry pattern of your choice. Then for Christmas knitting, I did make some socks just really quickly for kids that were requested right before Christmas, and they are sent off already. I'll put a picture here. And then I was thinking about my godmother right before the Christmas, and I was thinking, because she knits, and she knits a lot of socks and hats and mitts and whatnot. So I was thinking, what would be something that I could actually make for her that she doesn't make for herself? And I found this quite new Finnish pattern from a Finnish designer. It's Pelto color, and Pelto means field. So I think it was an appropriate name for this Jenny Ansah design, because look at the print that it has in the front. It is like you would have some grains or something on the field. And I was a bit afraid because I think the pattern was a bit spendy. It was 5.9 euros, so more than $6. And I think for a collar, that's quite a bit. But then the pattern really has more than one page. It is 4 pages and it's very well written. It has good tips for how that actual print is achieved. And what is cool about this is that on the back side of the collar, you have like fake brioche, or it's not fake brioche, but it's like not the full brioche, but quite close to that. And so you can even flip the front and the back, so that if sometimes you don't want to be having such a like a grain looking print in the front, you can turn it and then you'll have more plain looking front, or then you can have it the other way around. So I think it was very nice, and I'll put some pictures here of the collar that I made, but unfortunately didn't. That was right before Christmas, very late in the evening, not good lighting and anything. You don't see the color well. And I will put down also the yarn that I used for it. My godmother, when she received it, she called me and she was very happy about it, and she had already been wearing it for the day that she had been going out in the Finnish winter, and she said that it's really nice yarn because it doesn't itch at all. So I'll also make sure that you have the yarn somewhere here. And it was 1 skein for 1 collar, so really, really nice project. Actually, the pattern itself calls for like a light fingering and mohair held together, but I just used 1 fingering weight yarn. Then I received some really, really nice Christmas gifts. I don't know if Novida has published this book of theirs or a large magazine of theirs in English, but there is this Kaarroken neuleet, which is kind of like these yoke sweaters. So there's 50 patterns in here. They're all for the 7 brothers, Seitsemän veljestä, Finnish yarn brand, which is 75% wool, 25% polyamide, and it's like a sock yarn, but it's really durable and you can use it for many things. I've made 1 sweater which was steeped treista earlier from that same yarn. This sweater is called Syyshohto. It's by Joona Höri from Helsinki. He is a young designer, really promising. There's one that I really like, Anne Lönnroth's Pohjolan soturi, which means the kind of like, maybe you could translate it, northern soldier. And then there's one that really caught my eye, and this is a designer from this town, Tampere, Enikö Palo, and the name is Ruska, the turning of the colors in the fall. And I really like that print. I like it that this model here has been made with just 2 colors, and then you can have your imagination fly if you want to make it in more colors than just 2 colored one. And there are really some that are have lace, some that have some kind of like lots of different colors, and some are very simple, and all kinds of different sweaters that have the yoke print in one way or the other, or the yoke construction in the sweaters. So I think this will be something that I will use for a long time, this book. My mother-in-law got the same book, and she's already starting a sweater from this, and she calls me and says, can you look at the page 128, and can you look at this page, and if I was doing this and if I was using that yarn. It's nice to have the book in both ends so that we can both talk about the same book. I'm sorry if you're hearing background noises, that's my family having conversations. Then another Christmas present that I got, which has been a Christmas or a present wish of mine for years, and it's called the Icelandic. I believe it's Icelandic knits in English. Let me see. This, okay, it only says the original Icelandic name for it. It doesn't give me the English name, but Icelandic knits, I believe, is the name of the book in English. It has riddari, which is also the pattern in the cover of the book, and it has lots and lots of other designs from kids to adults. There's at least one a skirt. There's, I think, 2 or 3 of them. It has sweaters for all kinds of Icelandic yarns, the thin, the heavy. So really, it's a book where if you have any Icelandic yarn or that type of yarn, you can go for this book and choose something from there. It also has things for kids. These darn pictures are so cute. And it has socks, it has collars, it has all kinds of things. So there's, for example, a collar for ladies. So these are really, really, I will treasure these books and knit a lot from them, believe you me. But then there was something really precious. This came out of a Christmas parcel, and it said, and while I was unwrapping it, my son goes, "Even though it looks like yarn, you can't knit with it." I was like, okay, what the heck? So he has felted this for me. It has some soft material inside of it, and then it has this kind of yarn that you can felt on the top of it. He's even made the yarn brand there. Vuonue is a very Finnish sheep wool that I've learned to love 2021. So he had seen me knitting from that yarn, and he thought that maybe I would like to have this type of a soft felted yarn ball of Vuonue right in my knitting room. And right he is. That is so precious. Oh, here's my oomen that I've made out of that Vuonue yarn, and I keep wearing this shawl all the time. I've talked a lot about that in the previous episodes. Oh, this I didn't remember to mention, did I? This is these are leg warmers from this pattern called Vederlicht, and it's a free Ravelry pattern by Cello knits. I made it from Merino Kid. It's a brand from Adlibris. You can buy online in Finland. I don't know how far they carry. It has this lace pattern in it, and it's really, really quick and nicely repeated. And I started these already in April, but then they were tossed somewhere into a bag, and I found them before Christmas and finished them in a couple of days. They're just, mindless, great knit. And maybe you can see that it kind of gets thinner when you go to the other end of it. And that's because I didn't realize that that's what I was doing. I was just kind of getting lazy, because between the lace pattern rows, there's one row of just knitting. So I would start adding gradually, kind of 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows. And what that does, that actually makes the whole garment a bit thinner. Which is kind of nice, because now for the ankles it's a bit more narrow, and then it's a bit more wide from the top. They come from my ankle all the way up over the knees. And actually this yarn is very nice and soft. It is light fingering, about 450 yards in 100 grams, but they're 50 gram skeins, so 225 meters in one 50 gram skein. But I can also wear them as sleeves, and they're great for that too. So really happy with this, and nice to get them done. Okay, cell phone battery died because I've been doing so many things during today rather than just quickly filming something in the morning. Life, eh? Okay, before we go, I really wanted to show you a couple of things more. First of all, shout out to a couple of podcasts. The one on the top is very Finnish, Misun neuleet. Nice podcast to follow, and the one on the bottom is in English, Finnish knitting stories, and she's really from Finland, like me, and also makes these YouTube podcasts in English. So go check those out. Then another thing is the bingo. If you have been taking part in the knitting bingo, you know what I'm talking about. If not, you can just make yourself a square of maybe 4x4 or 3x3 or 5x5 or 6x6, you know, however many squares you want to have in your bingo. What I did last year and 2020 is that at the beginning of the year, I just kind of write down things into my bingo that I think I'm going to do during that year. Then I don't follow that during the year. I just kind of at the end of the year pick it up and see, did I actually do things in the knitting kind of scene that I thought that I would do that year? And I just before filmed the Finnish episode, and for that I marked what things did I actually manage to do from my bingo this year. I have many different kinds of things. They can be events, they can be certain patterns. Some people just put in patterns. Some people have it nicely with alphabets, so they have 25 squares, 5x5 from A to Z, and then they have different things about that alphabet in that square. So you can use your own imagination for this. And it's not a competition, unless you're just competing against yourself or something, but hey. Things that I did do that I surprisingly thought of at the beginning of the year was, for example, virtual knit night. Hey, COVID year. I did FO a couple of the patterns that I had written down here. I knit something for charity and for gift knitting. And I did knit an old Ravelry pattern. I took part in a cowl that had to have something for the head, the shoulder, the butt, the knees, the toes. So that one is there. And what else? But then there are a few things that I thought at the beginning of the year that I would do. And I don't think I've done these. Gloves, knitting picnic, knitting at bonfire, 2 kilos of yarn from the stash earlier than 21. I don't think I did that much. Knit in a tent. Another old Ravelry pattern. I did one, but I don't think I went further than that. And brioche. I don't think I put brioche in any of my knitting this year. So interesting. I'm going to sit down, make myself a new bingo for the 2022. And then I will stash it somewhere with my paperwork and I will pick it up again at the change of next year. With this, I hope you have a very nice year. And you get to enjoy knitting and fiber and have it all woolly and wonderful. Glad to have you here. Glad you made it this far. I hope to see you next time. And I hope to see you in different social media things, either posting something or whatever. So let's keep the community going. Have a wonderful year. See you again.